about what brings you here today. Could you please tell the court a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I try to think of myself as a rubberbacker or like a wanderlust. I've been traveling every which way around the country since I knew how to tie my shoelaces. I try to keep it that way too. Grand Canyon one week and Fort Crèvecoeur the next.
Why are you here today, Whit?
I'm here because I know what happened at Rock World. I saw it. And people can say that, maybe they saw this or they thought that this happened. But I know the truth, and I want the jury to know too.
Well then, what happened?
Rock World got held up like a stagecoach robbery. And Cameron Poole rode off into the sunset, leaving me here to deal with this bracelet business and the robbery because Longstreet doesn't have the wherewithal to actually go after him. So he goes after me because I stayed.
Now, can you first explain to the jury what you know about the bracelets?
Yeah. And I just want to say I didn't actually do it. I knew what Cameron had planned with the bracelets. I knew that he was trying to take money using them. But, I had nothing to actually do with him doing it.
Who purchased the fake bracelets?
Cameron purchased every single one of them.
And who swapped them out for the real bracelets?
Cameron did.
And who pocketed the extra money from the switch?
Cameron did every single time.
And just how much money were you given by Cameron from this event?
None. I wouldn't have taken it if he'd offered. He gave me some lunches. But that's just like when we were on the road together. I'd pay for gas one time, he would do the next. It was the same thing we would do with our meals.
Now, you talk about how you and Cameron exchanged meals. Was there anything else you two exchanged?
Not a whole lot. We talked a bit, and he got a hold of my phone number. And I didn't block him because I thought I was just going to be friendly. But people also talked about this knife. The knife. Well, the knife was just this Tennessee toothpick that I got from Midland's Chinatown. And I bought it for the break room so that the employees at Rock the World could open up their paychecks when they came. But after a couple weeks, I just stopped seeing it. And I just assumed that it got lost or stolen. But I had no idea that Cameron was going to do what he did with it.
And now, let's talk about the robbery. Was it planned?
I don't know what anyone could say was planned about that night. I've seen a raccoon do more planning to steal from a trash can. What Cameron Poole did was just a spineless, mindless mugging of Rock World, leaving Cameron or Floyd. I don't know if Floyd's going to be able to touch a spreadsheet again. And Officer Thomas, and me here to take the rap for it all because he left. I thought Cameron had changed. I thought things would have been better.
And what made you think otherwise?
Well, that day especially, Longstreet was there. We were all kind of on edge. But as soon as Longstreet sent Cameron home, he went berserk.
And what did Cameron do?
Cameron said he was going to go get the bracelets from his locker. He knew that both of our fingerprints were on him because he would shove them to me to put them away for him. But he said he was going to go and get them and then just take off.
When was the last time that you saw Cameron Poole?
I didn't see Cameron until I saw him running towards the Tunnel of Terror with Officer Thomas running right behind him. And that's exactly when Officer Thomas pulled out his freaking hand cannon of a pistol and started shooting rounds off at us.
And what did you do when Officer Thomas shot at Cameron?
I panicked. I don't know what else I could have done in that situation. Bullets coming towards me. And of course, Cameron, genius that he is, decides to take all that towards some of the customers and runs right into the ride. And I couldn't stop either of them, but I knew I could at least stop the ride itself.
And how did you stop the ride?
I was panicking. And I heard the gunshots, and I wanted to turn the machine off. But when you hear these gunshots, you don't just hear it. You feel it. Just with the fear and just I mean, whatever was coming your way, I threw my hand down and I mashed the buttons.
And what button did you hit?
I must have hit the maintenance switch because the ride kept going, but the lights were off. I feel so bad about what happened to Officer Thomas, but the ride didn't stop.
What happened after the ride went into maintenance mode?
It hit Officer Thomas. I remember hearing the sound. I could read you a lot of things, but I didn't know what was happening, and I certainly didn't know that a robbery was going to happen that night. And I would have done anything to help Cameron to make all this happen, especially not after what happened to Officer Thomas, and especially not after what's happening to me, because Cameron just left.
No further questions.